What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This is my review for the 2024 action film, Kill. So Kill has a very simple premise. It is about how during a train trip to New Delhi, a pair of commandos face an army of invading bandits. So whilst the premise isn't groundbreaking, the film as a whole, in terms of culturally, it is groundbreaking. And by that, I mean that a lot of times when Indian cinema comes over to North America, it's a very limited release. It's probably only in theaters for a week. As opposed to this film, Lionsgate, that's right, Lionsgate, a huge American company, is actually working with the other producers of Kill, and they're actually having this in a wide release for 4th of July weekend, meaning that it will probably be in theaters for 2-3 weeks. And I think that if you're a fan of action cinema, this is a really good dipping point in regards to Indian cinema, because this has a lot of things that you come to expect in regards to Indian cinema. So it's like, if you like this film, then you can, go exploring a lot of other action films in Indian cinema. Like for me, I started getting into Indian cinema a decade ago through the movie Three Idiots, which I love. I think it's a great film. But so for me, I was excited for this in regards to the historical aspect, but also I heard that this film was like India's take on like the raid films. And I'll get into that part in a little bit. But what I will say is this. When the film started, I was a bit nervous. So when the film started, the character development, the dialogue, the storytelling, just all felt very safe. There wasn't really anything that caught my attention. And then even when the action started, the action was very hard to differentiate, like what was going on. It was like, huh? And that was in part the cinematography, but also the editing. Like there were scenes where I was genuinely like, what was it? What's going on? And it just was like mind-blowing for me, because I was like, wait a minute, like this is an R-rated film. Why are we cutting away? Why aren't we showing like with what's going on? Like I don't understand. Is this a PG-13 American action film? I was just blown away. Not in a good way. I was just like, what is happening? And then 45 minutes into the film, there is something big that happens, and we actually get the title card, Kill, on the screen. That is when the film turns the knob up to 10, and all of a sudden, all those issues I had went out the window. All of a sudden, for the rest of the hour that remains, the action was incredible. You could tell what was going on. It was visceral. It was bloody. It was hard to watch. It was intense. The score kicked into gear in like a way where it was like really exciting. The soundtrack, there are some songs that are utilized. They're really good. Performances are great. The stunt work is outstanding. And I also love how, even though they're on a train, which you would think that the action would get, kind of dull and monotonous, it never does, because even though they're on a train, they do change the styles of fighting. They also change the areas on the train that they're at. And I think that also really helps in regards to the geography and being able to tell what's going on. And I like how, yes, there are close-up shots and mid shots. I do also like how there are wide angle shots where you can tell what's going on. You can see the fists actually coming at each other. Like I really liked that part. I do think, like I said, I know earlier I mentioned that I wasn't a fan of the cinematography at first. I do think that, again, once the title card came on screen, the cinematography got really good. And I also like how this is a film that it's self-contained. It is 105 minutes and it does fly by. And I also like how the ending, it works as a whole. It makes it so that way it can stand on its own, although I will say that there is potential for a sequel. And I look at it as this. It's like the Raid films. The first Raid you can watch on its own, and it works. But at the same time, we got the Raid 2, and that's my personal favorite action film of all time. So I'm glad that that's the case. And so if someone were to tell me that, yeah, Kill 2, it's in the works, I would say, yes, I'm 100% on board. Let's go for it. Because I think that as a whole, this is a solid film. You understand the villain's motivations, you understand the hero's motivations, and them clashing against each other. It's something that is exciting to watch and behold. And I do think that the ability of the story to be able to make things interesting and it not be a short film and actually 105 minutes is really exciting to view. Like, this is a film that in other hands could potentially not work. But here, because of the directing, because of the stunt work, because of all the departments coming together, this film works. I think it's a solid film. And I will say this. In regards to the Raid films, I think that in regards to what we see on screen, the visceral nature of the violence, I do think that it comes close to that. In regards to consistency, Not as much, because again, like I said, the last hour is when I was all on board. If you ask my thoughts of the first 45 minutes, I felt very mixed. And I was actually genuinely worried because it felt like American action films. And I was like, oh gosh, here we go. But like I said, the last hour, it was like, there we go. So yeah, I personally, if you have been sleeping on this film and you're kind of on the fence, like, oh, should I watch it or not? Watch Kill, please. Kill is rock solid, and that's why for me, I'll personally be giving it a... But hey guys, that's my thoughts on Kill. So I am going to say this, and this is something that I was actually kind of infuriated by heading into this film. So I heard the news that already there is a remake in the works for this film. Yeah, not a sequel, a remake. And not just any remake, a remake by America. And it's the same director, if I'm not mistaken, who did Bullet Train, Fall Guy, and it's like, why? Just why? Like, it's the equivalent of remaking the Raid films, or remaking Old Boy, or remaking The Night Comes For Us. It's like, you don't remake those films by, like, in America. Like, you shouldn't, at least. Because, in my eyes, it's just going to be watered down. They're probably going to try to be shooting for a PG-13. Could you imagine watching Kill, this movie, if you've seen it? Could you imagine trying to watch this with PG-13? Like, it would be boring, probably. It would be, like, all this quick cut and just, no. Like, please, no. So, I urge you, if you're one of those individuals that's like, no, I don't like, watching international cinema, I think that this is a good starting point because, again, it is exciting and there's a lot of visual storytelling so that, it doesn't really matter if you don't like, reading subtitles. It doesn't really matter. And also, it's going to be a lot better, like I said, than this American remake whenever it comes out. So, please, watch this film. If you like action filmmaking, this is the film for you. Now, again, it doesn't reinvent the wheel or anything, but it is exciting for what it is. And I definitely want to experience it a second time because maybe the first 45 minutes will grow on me. But as it stands, you guys know my thoughts. First 45 minutes, remaining hour, I really liked it. So, guys, Kill, did you like it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you liked it or if you didn't like it. Or, again, I really appreciate you guys' support. And don't forget the subscription, notification bell. Follow me on Letterboxd, Patreon, and I will catch you guys later.